This is a 2008 BMW M3 E93 chassis, which means it's a convertible. But the best part of all is, this only costed my friend Alex $11,000 and it comes with a manual gearbox. Now you might be thinking, how on earth can you get this car for this low? Well, it needs some work. That's why it's here in my garage. And it needs new bearings because it has about 120,000 miles, and these engines, they are known for bearing issues at this particular mileage. And also, since it's a manual, this car has been driven and probably abused as well, and the clutch might be on its way out. It doesn't feel very bad, but when you push it, it does slip a little bit. So that's the reason why this car is here. Now, let me show you around the car really quick. At the front end, it's really classic BMW M3 shape. It has the xenon headlights, it has a black kidney grille, which we might need to change. And also, if you look closer, it has an E93 intake. And you can see that right here, there is an E93 carbon fiber intake. And that means that somebody cared for this thing. They really enjoyed it, and now it needs some work, and of course a lot of shops would charge a lot of money, so they decided to sell it. But no problem, that's why we're here. We're gonna fix all of those problems. The wheels are a replica wheels. They're 18-inch, and they are the copy of the competition package for this particular model, and in my opinion they look really good. I don't know if I would go for black because it kind of makes it all muted and you barely can see the shape of it. I'm not very much of a fan of black wheels, but if Alex wants me to change the color of these wheels, we will do that as well. Now, as you can see, it doesn't have the shadow line, which in my opinion should have had, but we'll take care of this chrome bit. It also has some damage on the body. Here, for example, there is a small dent. There is some minor issues here and there, but not a big deal. In the back, as you can see, the trunk is damaged and it was painted over just so that it prevents rusting. And it was like this because this car had a wing on it and it was removed, and that damaged the trunk, but we can repaint this and make it look good. Now, if you saw my previous video, you know that while towing this thing, I got hit in the back and the bumper was damaged. And as you can see, there is some damage here, a little bit here. This cap flew off, and also there is a big crack on this top portion, actually multiple cracks. And also it got pushed out of its mounting points, as you can see, and we still don't know what the damage is under the bumper, and we're not allowed to remove the bumper just yet because the insurance didn't come through yet, and we are waiting on that. But we can look around and see what else is wrong with this thing. On this side, everything looks good apart from this side skirt. It was replaced and never painted, so we will have to paint that as well. You can see that the car has some moss growing on it, so that means it's been sitting for a while, and it definitely needs a really good clean. Overall, it looks really good. For this amount of money, this is an amazing deal in my opinion. Now let's have a look under the bonnet, because you're gonna love this engine. And just how I like it, a little bit dirty and a little bit neglected. But as you can see, even more E93 stuff in here. This is quite nice carbon fiber intake. And yeah, it has some oil leaks like any BMW would. In order to fix the issue, which is not really an issue yet, but it could be an expensive issue, which is the bearings on this engine, we have to lift the car, drop the subframe, remove the oil pan, remove the oil pump, and then we can access the bearings. And that's basically how everybody does it. But in order to do that, I think in this case I might have to remove the engine, and it's because I need to do the clutch as well. And if I need to do the clutch, I would have to remove the gearbox and do the clutch. I'm not sure which one is easier, removing the engine or removing the gearbox. I think the gearbox can come out a lot easier than removing the engine. But since we have to do some work on the engine, I think the best option would be to remove the engine and go through everything and change all the gaskets, maybe valve stem seals or whatever else it's bad. And, you know, overhaul the whole unit, make it all nice and leak free. And I think that would be increasing the value of this car by quite a bit. But now let me show you the interior as well. The interior looks amazing with this red leather. It does need some work because it's a little bit cracked and it's a little bit dry, and it needs to be cleaned and it needs to be treated. But of course, as you know, first we will take care of the mechanical problems and then we'll deal with the cosmetics. Sitting inside of this thing feels amazing. I always wanted to drive one of these, never had the chance, never had any type of opportunity to even touch one of these cars. And now I'm sitting in this amazing car and I'm about to do the work that I love the most on it, which is remove the engine and do an overhaul on it, which to me sounds almost unbelievable. But here we are. This is happening and I have to say I'm really excited about it. Now, the rev counter goes all the way to 9,000 revs, and this engine will rev all the way to over 8,000 revs, and it's a big V8. That's an amazing feeling. When you do that, it will feel like nothing else on the road. Plus, it has a manual gearbox, which is so much better than the automatic gearbox. Yes, the automatic one would be faster, but having a manual, it's such a special thing. I just love it. Now, I bet you want to hear this thing run, so let's do that. Yes, it does need some help, but it runs. Before we let the engine warm up so we can rev it out a little bit, we need to check the codes, because I want to make sure that this engine is good to run before we do anything. I want to have an idea of what's going on, because Alex said that sometimes it would start, sometimes it wouldn't, and it's probably because it has a weak battery and it hasn't been used in a while. But to me, this worked every time. I started it, no problem, it worked every time. So now let's plug in the diagnostic tool and see what this car has to say. Now when it comes to diagnostic tools, this is one of the best you can buy in my opinion. MUCAR has provided me with this diagnostic tool and I've been using it for a while, and I have to say I really love this thing. It's one of the best I've ever used. And it's very good because it's also compact and it has a magnetic latch on the back and comes with all of this goodies inside. You have a direct cable in case you need it, like this, that connects to also an Ethernet cable. And then to the car you have an adapter for the USB and the Ethernet. You have a charger cable, different socket for different countries, and you can just swap it over here. You just push this out and you swap it, and you can use it in other countries as well. And it has Europe, and I believe this is UK. One amazing thing about this code reader is that it has this support thing, which my old one didn't, and you can just place it on the steering wheel like this, and you would have access without holding it. And look at that. The interface is so amazing. It has so many options up here. If you go to maintenance, for example, you have so many things you could do quite fast. Like, there's a lot of shortcuts here. We'll go through some of these just to check some things, but just as an idea, this interface is such a good interface to use. As you can see, this has a lot of car brands you can scan. It has the European ones like Audi, BMW, it has Alfa Romeo, like a lot of things, even Bugatti. And of course some American brands like Buick, Chrysler, you know, a lot of other like Chevrolet, Cadillac. Look how many of them are in total. There is no diagnostic tool out there that has this many car brands that you can use it on. This is so good. Now we're gonna go for what we have. Right away, you can see it's a 2008 BMW M3, and we're gonna go for the automatic search. This is what we have. It's a M3 manual, so it was like that from the factory, and it also says it's manufactured in 2008, and the engine type is the S65, which is very famous engine. So now let's go and read some codes. Let's see what this car is gonna complain about. Now we're gonna go for a high-speed scan just to pull some codes. There's quite a few errors in here. Let's start from the top. So terminal 50, that means battery, it was disconnected, that's history. Engine starter operation, that was history, and probably because the battery was weak. Fuel pressure, again history, that means it didn't have enough fuel pressure. Battery voltage, it was low and open circuit, so that means the battery was disconnected. As you can see, a lot of them are connected to the battery. DSC, engine management, interface, steering angle sensor, the same thing. Brake pad wear, this is a current issue, so it needs new brake pads. So all of these codes are mostly because of a low battery. So let's clear them and see what sticks. Okay, so only the actual brake pads are showing up here. And in order to confirm that, we can go back and we can do another scan. And yes, we only have the brake pads that need to be replaced as codes right here. So that's good. Now we can go up top here and we have special functions, and we can select drive, and we can do all of these special functions. For example, you can read and delete adaptations, and that's very useful in case you are changing timing or something like that. That is good to have. Or if you work on the throttle bodies, that needs to be used. Transmission oil pump activation, so you can, if you replace the oil, you can start the pump without turning the engine on. When you go back to the chassis, you can adjust all of this stuff like steering angle sensor, brake line mix-up test in case you're working on the brakes, bleeding routine, like the DSC adjustments, DSC sensor alignment. There's a lot of stuff you can do when you're gonna try to fix one of these things. And this tool does a lot of functions. Like I would be here for hours mentioning what this thing can do. Even register a new battery if you exchange the battery in your car, which is something people don't realize it has to be done. But if you don't do that, the battery is gonna have a much shorter life, because the alternator pushes more voltage as the battery becomes weaker. And if you put a new battery with that more voltage, it will shorten its life by quite a lot. It would be okay for probably 2 years instead of 6 or 7 years. So it's definitely a good thing to have a tool like this to register a battery exchange whenever you do it. When you go to maintenance, you can do a few things that you're usually doing, like reset service. For example, if you changed your oil, you can reset that there. If it's the one that shows in the dash that you need to service your car, you can reset it here. The brake pads, if you replace the brake pad, you can reset it here. So it's really good to have one of these tools. MUCAR has helped me a lot, and also they're trying to help one of you guys. They're going to give you one of these devices for free. What you have to do is to share this video with one of your friends, and also leave a comment in the section below saying a situation where one of these devices would have been a huge help. Either you were about to purchase a car that had some hidden issues, or you were stranded on the road and one of these things would have helped you to fix it and move on. So in the next video I post, I will announce the winner of the free scanner. So don't forget to leave a comment, because that could get you one of these devices, okay? And I have to say, this MUCAR device is one of the best, and I recommend it with all of my heart. I think this does everything you need to do. And even if you're not working on cars and you just have your own car, it's good to know if you have a problem. If the check engine light came on, you need to know why, because when you take it to a shop, they could tell you that it had way more problems than you think it had, and they would overcharge you. So this way, with this device, you know exactly what you're going in to fix. So I definitely recommend to have one of these. Plus, when you're deciding to buy a new car, you would have this with you, and you can scan the car and see if they're hiding anything. So some people, I've even heard of situations where they taped over the check engine light, so you wouldn't be able to see it in the dash, but the car would hide a lot of problems. And one of these things will save you from something like that. So I recommend you go ahead and buy one of these while they're on a deal. Now on the M3, we have to wait for a little bit before we start working on it, because the insurance needs to come through and Alex needs to get paid for the damage that happened on the trailer. And after that, we can get into it and the engine can be removed. Even though it's healthy and it runs well, I think we should remove it and also do all the gaskets around. Or if it's easier and it doesn't leak too much, then we will go ahead and remove the gearbox. But there is a lot of stuff that needs to be sorted on this thing, and including the aesthetic of it, not just the engine. We will have to bring this back like I always do with all of the cars I have. And I'm gonna give it the full treatment to make sure that this car is back to standard. But I have to say, I'm really excited about this thing. I love the M3, even though it's not mine. I love the fact that I will work on it and get to familiarize myself with this platform. And maybe in the near future, I can afford to buy one of these things for myself. I want to say a big thank you to Alex for trusting me with his car. This is an amazing vehicle to have. And thank you all of you for watching this video. Please don't forget to comment, because you could win a MUCAR device, and please share it with one of your friends and give it a thumbs up in case you liked it.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit, I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant, I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down.